Well, hello, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Dukowitz of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this. You actually do have enough time. ... Have you noticed I like to put the ... at the end? Anyway, so here we are. It is a Wednesday, and Wednesday, typically for my boys at school, is chapel day. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, when they get to school, they are there for about 15 minutes, and then they have to put their jackets back on and head over to the church where they have chapel. And typically over the course of Wyatt in kindergarten last year, it was his first time with chapel, really didn't like it and wanted one of us to be there. So I went, my wife went, and also Papa went. And then Papa, it became his thing. He's like, I got this. Y'all don't need to go. I'm going to go. Wyatt would light up every time he'd see Papa there. And guess what? Now we have a first grader and a pre-kindergartner, pre-K-er, I guess we'll call him, in Watson. And both boys absolutely love that Papa is there. And today, Daddy decided to go. Something hit me last night and something hit me this morning that basically just said, I'm just going to go. I'm getting stuff done. I'm productive. I do produce. I'm going to go. It'll mean a lot to the boys. And I thought it'd be really cool just to be there with my dad. I haven't been to church with my dad, just the two of us since I was, I don't even know, probably dating back to my high school days and even junior high days when we would just go to church on a Saturday night together knowing that Mom had to work the next day. So anyway, as I'm sitting there next to my dad, or I should even back up more, as I'm standing there next to my dad, Watson comes walking in. And when Watson comes walking in, he sees Daddy and he sees Papa and he runs over to give big, wonderful, wonderful hugs. I, taking and receiving my hug, have just a tear in my eye. And he gets up and gives Papa a hug and walks right in. Wyatt comes walking in and he's holding they have what are called chapel buddies. A chapel buddy is basically an older kid in school who walks with the child over to chapel. They sit next to them. They can talk to them. Essentially kind of a buddy, a friend that they have as they go through the school year. And as Wyatt's walking, he looks over, and my dad informs me. He says, he just kind of looks and he'll acknowledge that you're there, but he keeps walking. Well, when he looked and he acknowledged that we were there, you could tell he wanted to move. He didn't want to stay put, to which I got down on one knee and said, buddy, it's okay, come here. And he ran over to me and gave me the biggest hug in the world. He then gave Papa the biggest hug in the world. And he was so happy to see us. And it was really a cool moment. And again, tears in my eyes as he walked in and grabbed his buddy's hand and they walked in. We sat through the entire service. Now, here's the thing. A chapel service is about 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, they decide that it is time to do end of semester awards because they couldn't do them at Christmas. And I have to laugh. I'm thinking, okay, well, I did this because I thought it'd only be a half hour. It would be impactful for the kids, good for me to go to church in the middle of the week. I thought everybody's a win. I'm sitting here next to my dad. This is a great day. And then they extend it. Now, they're not extending it with more chapel time. They're extending it with awards. But I'm not going to bow out. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to make sure that when both boys leave, they get to see Daddy. As Papa will always stay till the end. Daddy ain't going nowhere. He's staying till the end. And so typically, I can remember, and I look back years and years ago, and I would have looked at something like that and just tripped out. Like, I got so much to do. I've got to get things done. And at the end of the day, here's what you realize. And I don't know, maybe you've been here before too. Is that if you're focusing on the real stuff, if you're literally sitting down and rolling up your sleeves and working day in and day out on things that move the needle, you don't get stressed out about being a little late. You don't get stressed out about something not working out your way in terms of time. But if to the contrary, you are a person who's constantly playing catch up because you're spending time on Facebook, you're playing Candy Crush, you're watching TV, you're doing all the non-impactful things in your life, then when it's time to do impactful work, you're stressed out because you're playing the catch-up game, then that extra 20 or 30 minutes today would have made a huge difference in your life. It would have stressed you out. And for many, you would have gotten up and left. But then you would have missed the moment. Because when Watson left, Papa and I stood at the back door, and he came up and gave us both big hugs and kisses again. And then when Wyatt left, he walked out, and he did the same thing. As he's holding his chapel buddy's hand, he looks up, and I'm just like, buddy, it's okay. And he runs over, gives me a hug, grabs Papa, gives him a hug, and says, I need you to sit in the back pew next time when we're walking out. So he immediately had to give Papa orders on what he wanted him to do the following week. But he was happy, he was excited, He went back to his chapel buddy, and they left. I would then sneak up on him before he walked into the class or into the school and give him one more hug and kiss goodbye, where I got another big, beautiful smile from my boy. All of which would have never happened had I left at the 30-minute mark. All that would have happened if I was more worried and stressed about work than an extra 30 minutes that could create an impact for my kids. The question for you becomes very simple as we have this discussion here today. Where in your life are you stressing about time, but in reality you know that you're pissing time away on unimpactful things? Maybe in a workout, you say, I just can't work out. I don't have the time, but yet you're spending more time on your phone taking selfies or looking at Facebook or even talking to people at a gym than you are working out. And so then you get stressed about time and you take it out on everyone else. I don't have enough time in the day. But in actuality, if you just rolled up your sleeves and did the work, it would be a non-issue. Maybe it's in your spirituality. Maybe it's in your relationships, exactly what I'm talking about here today. Where you say, I don't have enough time, but in actuality, you do have the time. When you start to prioritize the things that are needle moving in your life, you will make the time. Identify in your life, where is it that you are literally, I'm using it this way, pissing away time and working on things that are a distraction. Identify the distractions in your life right now. And then what are you going to do differently starting today? What are you going to start working on that is going to be more impactful and move the needle in your life so that when you want the extra 30 minutes, it's easily accessible and you don't stress about it, which means you can be 100% in the moment for your family, for yourself, for your relationships, and for your life. That's all I've got for you here today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Commit and Go podcast. Hey, as always, please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, love, share. Share this with somebody that you know and love. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. I'd be incredibly honored if you would do that. And number 2, make sure you head over to the commitandgo.com page. Information about myself and programs that we do that can help to create an impact in your life, not just today, but every day throughout the course of the year. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time.